Early modern architecture began at the turn of the 20th century, with rapid technical advancement and the modernization of society. Modernism took the form of numerous movements, schools of design, and architectural styles such as arts and crafts, expressionism, moderne, and the international style. The international style originated from the book The International Style, written by historian Henry Russell Hitchcock and architect Philip Johnson. The book was written to record the International Exhibit of Modern Architecture. For over 50 years, Philip Johnson was one of the most influential figures in American design and architecture. In 1930, Johnson became founder and director of the Department of Architecture and Design at the Museum of Modern Art. Johnson returned to Harvard at age 34 to study architecture. The international style is characterized by the use of modern materials such as glass and steel. It consists of three main principles. 1. The expression of volume than mass. 2. The emphasis on balance rather than preconceived symmetry. And 3. The expulsion of applied ornament. With the advent of steel structures, exterior walls were no longer needed for structural support. Instead, exterior walls became merely curtains hung in front of steel frames. Large floor-to-ceiling windows mixed with expanses of brick walls emphasized the non-structural role of the walls. Johnson created some of the most monumental international-style buildings. He joined Mies van der Rohe as the New York associate architect for the 39-story Seagram building in 1956. The structure was designed by Mies, while the lobby and other internal aspects was designed by Johnson, including the Four Seasons and the restaurant. The Toronto Dominion Centre was completed in 1969 by Mies van der Rohe. Similar to the Seagram building, the Toronto Dominion Centre follows the theme of darkly colored, rigid-ordered steel and glass surrounded by the dense, pre-existing urban environment. The structure is composed of structures spread across 3 dimensions from the largest scale to the smallest by a mathematical order of 16 square feet grid. Originally, 3 structures were conceived, each building offset to the adjacent bay of the grid, allowing views to slide open or close as the observer moves across the court. The Lever House was designed by Gordon Budshaft of Skidmore, Owings and Merle and is located at 360 Park Avenue in New York City. The building was completed in 1952 and is a seminal glass box skyscraper built in the international style. The Lever House comprises 2 counterpost rectangular volumes sheathed in a thin curtain wall floating on pilots. The lower volume carrying a roof garden and enclosed garden atrium retreat. Its thin 20-story tower was small by New York standards, but for an international style building it was unusually large. The building featured a glimmering 24-story blue-green heat-resistant glass and stainless steel curtain wall. The curtain wall was designed to reduce the cost of operating and maintaining the property. Its curtain wall is completely sealed with no operating windows. The Lovell House is an international-style residential design. The house was designed by Richard Neutra in 1929. The home is located at 4616 Dundee Drive in California. The house follows many principles of the international style and was included in the 1932 Museum of Modern Art exhibit. The house clings to the side of a steep cliff. It is perpendicularly suspended to view landscapes of Los Angeles. The house reflects Neutra's interest in industrial production, which is most evident in the repetitive use of factory-made windows. The house was built for physician and neopath Philip Lovell, often described as the first steel frame house in the United States. The Lovell House was added to the list of registered historic places in Los Angeles in 1971. The Glass House was built in 1949 in Canton, Connecticut, and is a single room entirely walled in glass. Johnson spent 3 years designing the structure, which was originally one of 2 buildings, along with the brick guest house. The Glass House is a site donated to the National Trust for Historic Preservation. The house sits at the edge of a crest on Johnson's estate overlooking a pond. The building's sides are of glass and charcoal-painted steel, and the floor of brick. The interior is an open space divided by low walnut cabinets. A brick cylinder contains the bathroom and is the only object to reach floor to ceiling. The glass house caused problems between Johnson's longtime friend Mies van der Rohe because it was said the design was derived from Mies's Farnsworth house, a one-room weekend retreat which didn't finish being built until 2 years after the completion of the glass house. The Cathedral of Christ the Lights is located in Oakland, California, USA. The design was inspired by architects Skidmore, Owens, and Miller, LLP, and was constructed in 2008. As the name suggests, the cathedral draws on the tradition of light. The interior uses modest materials, primarily wood, glass, and concrete. In the day, the cathedral is lit entirely by daylight to create an extraordinary level of luminancy. The main cathedral structure system consists of reinforced concrete, prefabricated laminated wood members, structural steel rods, and a steel-based isolation system. The international style is still seen today in many modern-day buildings. The advent of the curtain wall and the focus of the structure rather than ornamentation influenced many modern-day buildings and led to the simple open flow concept we see today.